Welcome to The Edge of Belief, the podcast that explores alternative faiths, cults, conspiracy theories, the supernatural and bizarre happenings worldwide. I'm one of your hosts, Ruby, and taking me on a guided tour is my co-host, Richard.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Edge of Belief.
Episode 4. Who can believe episode 4?
Yeah, we got there. It's been just over a week, really. And
Well, we do have lives as well.
Yeah, and there's a pandemic going on.
Well, yeah, true, there is a pandemic. If you're bored in isolation, we hope this brightens your day a little bit.
Yeah, I hope so.
We hope.
Well, people in the UK really haven't got their hang of social distancing, have they, really?
No, it's fair to say not at all, really.
Meeting your mate in the park with their kids and pushchair isn't doing it, is it?
Not really. Can I also just say, the clap for the NHS thing...
Oh, yeah.
Kind of annoys me.
Go on.
Well, most of these people out there clapping probably voted Tory and for all these cuts to happen. And do they think a clap's going to make it any better? Like, I appreciate the sentiment. It's a nice sentiment.
Oh, yeah,
but,
yeah, exactly.
What they need is equipment, more staff. They don't need someone banging a saucepan at 8 o'clock for them.
Well, I think what it is, they're all shitting themselves. They might actually need the NHS now. So
Hopefully this will teach them a lesson then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Boris has been diagnosed, hasn't he, with a touch of the COVIDs. Yeah,
I got a question mark over that.
I think he's diagnosed with needing 2 weeks off. That's what he's been diagnosed
and not having to deal with this shit show.
Yeah. Well, this episode is about British cryptids.
I'm so excited about that.
It's a field of kind of the paranormal which I've had a slight interest in, but not really kind of thing. So I tend to think most cryptid sightings are just bullshit made up by people. So
yeah, people might have took some drugs or got drunk.
Well, that's it. I mean probably the cryptid everyone knows is Bigfoot, really, I suppose, or the Sasquatch. I like the name. I like that name better. I'll be honest.
I know. You'll be saying that all week now.
I mean, the Bigfoot's got kind of names for all around the world, and there's a Yeti, Almasty, and there's loads of different ones.
And Loch Ness.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah, Nessie.
Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, people know about Nessie, I suppose, but again,
does Nessie come under a cryptid?
Yes, it's not a species known to science. Oh,
but we're not doing Nessie.
No, we're not doing Nessie because everyone knows about Nessie.
That's true.
I mean, it's basically just American tourist trap, isn't it? Really, not this.
Pretty much.
To be honest,
a bit like Edinburgh.
But first, news. Okay, I promised this episode I'd only do one COVID-19 news story because, let's face it, we're all probably a bit kind of worn down by it, to be honest.
I think we're all in the same cycle. No, I'm so bored of talking about it. Let's talk about it. No, I'm bored of talking about it. Oh, but have you heard this? And we all do it.
So I've picked one story this week, just one, and it's been hard. It's been hard to boil this down to one because there is a tidal wave of bullshit out there regarding this.
But we had to kind of limit it.
So
for our own sanity as well as yours.
Here's the story I found, which I like the best. Mexico's president believes heart of Jesus will protect country from coronavirus.
Well, that doesn't sound completely fucking mental at all.
Well, listen to this. Mexico's president, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, refuses to acknowledge the severity of the crisis, encouraging citizens to continue to go out and patronise restaurants and other businesses, while also insisting that the country is safe because the heart of Jesus is with him and the country.
Good Lord. That's quite
a specialist.
Reckless.
Yeah. I mean, it to me it looks like Mexico's got its own Trump.
Sounds a bit like it.
It does, doesn't it, really?
Mexico's Bojo.
As you'd expect with a story like this, the newspapers are all over it like, the proverbial pissing puppy.
Yeah.
Reuters reports President Obrador says there is no cause for alarm and is continuing to hold regular public rallies around Mexico. He argues the country must keep going to limit damage to the economy lest it hurt the poor and the elderly.
Well, I think COVID's probably going to hurt the poor and the elderly a bit more.
Yeah, I think he made a mistake there. I think he meant to say sociopathic billionaires and the politicians in their pocket, really.
Yeah, and if we happen to get rid of a few sick and vulnerable.
Yeah, I don't think he's a shit about the poor, I'll be honest.
No.
Time magazine reports, asked how he was protecting Mexico, Lopez Obrador removed 2 religious amulets from his wallet and proudly showed them off. He said, "The protective shield is the 'Get thee behind me, Satan, stop enemy, for the heart of Jesus is with me.'" So, in a press conference, he got out a magic amulet.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say to that.
It's the 21st century, isn't it? I mean, it's like something from the Middle Ages.
This is
I
like...
have this magic amulet to protect the country.
I found this holy grail.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean...
Not today, Satan.
Yeah, I mean... Well, our second story, thankfully, is not a coronavirus one.
Hooray!
Hey. Disembodied robotic mouth is reciting AI-generated prayers. The Pompidou Centre in Paris has a new exhibit, a roboticised silicone nose and mouth that spouts AI-generated prayers in a mechanical voice. The syntax is correct, but the mishmash of words fail to form a cogent narrative. well, given the source material...
That's creepy though, just a nose and a mouth.
Yeah. The art, there's a picture of it in our show notes, so you go and have a look at it.
Weird. The
artwork is called The Prayer by artist, I must say this right, Demet Streeb, and it's powered by an algorithm. Demet Streeb? Yeah. It's powered by an algorithm that draws from religious texts and prayers from around the world. Streeb said, and here's his artistic statement, so strap in here.
Get ready.
Yep. I aim to highlight philosophical themes about the ever-increasing pervasiveness of AI and how that can affect our relationship with the unknown. So, do you want to hear what the mouth and nose says?
The Diamond Bot.
Oh yeah.
2000. Yeah.
Here it comes.
Don't be sad. We're here where your acts are thorns and worms, said the 400 boys. Very well. We'll show you the way down below, said the quiche lords.
That sounds like something from my nightmares.
Yeah. Should we hear that again? Because there's quite a bit of a... I say, his syntax may be correct, but his diction's shite.
Well, yeah.
Like mine.
I didn't really understand everything that he was... He, she, it.
It, I would say.
Oh, that seems cold, though.
Let's have another listen, because there's some...
Calling it an it seems cold.
Well, it is. It's a bloody machine.
Let's call it the thing.
The thingy.
The thingy, yeah.
So, let's have a listen again. So, keep your ears pricked up. Here's what it's saying.
Don't be sad. We're here where your acts are thorns and worms, said the 400 boys. Very well. We'll show you the way down below, said the quiche lords.
Quiche lords?
Yeah, and the 400 boys.
Well, I've got quiche lord, 400 boys.
And something about worms.
Something about worms. And going down below. I mean, that sounds very... If you put that together in that sense, that sounds a bit Savile.
That's well, that's the gobbledygook it came out with.
Little boys, worms.
Yeah. Quiche
Everyone
lords.
loves quiche.
Well, yeah, that's... Yeah.
Creepy as shit.
I mean, its artistic statement should have been, if it was more honest, let's see what Ballbags this comes out with for shits and giggles.
Yeah,
really.
Pretty much. Let's see what we can freak each other out with. I'm going to be dreaming about that voice tonight.
Well, I say, go and look.
Don't be sad.
Sad. The quiche lords.
The quiche lords are going to touch your little worms. With 400 boys.
Oh dear. Well, I say, go and look at our show notes. There'll be a link to it in there. I mean, I'll be honest, it doesn't look like a mouth and a nose. It looks like a bum hole with a nose grafted onto it.
That's even better.
Go and check it out. Our third news story it's a space one, and I like space ones. Space. NASA fixes Mars lander by telling it to hit itself with a shovel. NASA's InSight lander, which is currently on the surface of Mars, has faced some unexpected problems during its mission to explore and study the planet. Namely, a digging probe that was built to burrow beneath the surface like a jackhammer got stuck because Mars's soil is clumpier than scientists expected.
Well, you think they'd have found out, really, what the soil type was like?
I don't suppose they knew till they got up there. Anyway.
Haven't they sent probes there before? Could they not send back a soil sample?
Well, I thought so. Anyway, this Insight lander, right?
Yeah.
It had a little probe that kind of detached itself from it and goes out and does all the digging bit.
Yeah.
And looking at the photos, it's like, you know those robotic carpet cleaners you can get, the round ones that go around and bump into the walls?
Yeah. And you see cats on the top of them.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Roomba.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah. Other cleaning.
There are many available. Yeah. No one's listening to this. No one will be bothering.
Anyway, this little robotic thing goes out there and starts digging the holes, you know what I mean? Kind of
Probing holes.
And the Eyesight lander itself has got a little shovel on it to kind of scoop up the bits. I think this little carpet cleaner.
This is sounding really cute, to be honest.
It is, but it is just a shovel attached to
a probe.
Yeah.
It's got a little shovel. Yeah, it's cute.
No, the probe does the digging and the lander does the shoveling up.
Oh, right.
So it's got a little shovel. Anyway, so this probe got stuck where it was kind of digging in the ground.
You are going to get stuck sometimes when you're probing around in tight holes.
Yeah, well, you can't say that on the podcast.
Why not?
You can.
I was talking about Mars. I don't know what your disgusting brain thought.
Yeah.
Perv.
Anyway, they tried to get this little probe thing out and they just couldn't do it. So they thought, it's millions of pounds worth and years of, work up there. We've got to sort this shit out.
A lot of effort has gone into this probing.
So I thought, right, last ditch attempt. Why don't we whack it with a shovel on the Eyesight lander? It's, we can't do it any other way. So giving it a twatting would be the way to get it out.
That's pretty cool.
But the trouble is with this is, if I hit it too hard, it'd break the probe, all the kind of like solar powered bits on it and the communications.
Yeah, it's probably quite a sensitive piece of equipment.
Yeah, so they thought we better practice this. We better practice twatting it with the shovel to get it just right, so we don't do it too hard or too soft. First time, every time, smack, dunk, it comes out.
Hole in one.
Right. So guess how long NASA scientists practiced this shovel twatting?
A month.
Close. Several, apparently.
Several months. They sat down and I thought, we got to practice twatting this little probe. Yeah, but that must mean there's billions tied up in it.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, the good news is it worked.
Yay!
And it didn't knacker it. So.
Good old smack always works.
Yeah. Well,
it's like I often say with you.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be doing 4 British cryptids.
Cryptids!
Yay! Before we get into this episode's main subject, I've got to talk about the difference between cryptids and what are called ABCs. You're looking at me blank.
Yeah, what's an ABC?
Well, it's a cryptozoological term for an anomalous big cat or alien big cat.
Yes, like the Sheppy big cat.
Yeah, well, I mean, the difference is, like I said in the previous episode, I'm pretty sure I've seen an ABC.
Yeah.
It was on the Isle of Sheppey in Kent. It's called the Sheppey big cat. I thought it was a puma, I'll be honest, that jumped a fence.
Yeah, I've heard it was all black.
Yes, definitely, yeah, massive. I mean, it's 6 foot long at least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, come with tail. But the difference is, if I went up to the fence in the remote field I saw it jump over and got a hair sample, if I took that to a lab, they could DNA sequence it and go, yeah, mate, that's a panther.
Yeah.
We know who it is. It's a known species.
Yeah.
It's just not meant to be there.
Yeah. Someone's obviously accidentally or on purpose let it go.
Yeah. But a cryptid is an animal that's unknown to science.
Yes.
So an unknown species. It could be. I mean, the examples I've given this week are. Could they be a new species, or are they kind of some kind of paranormal entity?
So essentially, then, for everyone listening, a cryptid is an sort of undetermined or undiscovered,
unverified animal.
Yeah,
and it could be of kind of
could be aquatic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So on all forms of land as well.
Oh, yeah. But it could be a physical, animal, or a paranormal manifestation of something like a demon.
Oh, yeah.
So although it takes an animal form, it's not necessarily, kind of an
actual animal that is just as yet not determined. Not a real physical animal.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Well, the first one I want to do is the Bat Beast of Kent.
Yeah. Now, I'm from Kent, and I actually don't know this one. So,
well, I didn't, but I'm doing the research, and I do a bit of scant research for this podcast.
You do, I do none.
Yeah. Well, this is sometimes known as the Saltwood Mystery, and if you're looking it up, Saltwood is part of Hythe, really, on the southern Kent coast.
Yeah.
So it's around that area. Anyway, this cryptid is a good example because in America there's a thing called the Mothman. It's a well-known cryptid.
What is the Mothman?
It's a kind of winged man who kind of people have seen, with glowing eyes, and it flies over them, and this is very similar. But where that's so famous, I wanted to do this one because the first sighting of the Bat Beast was 3 years before the first one of the Mothman.
Ooh.
So it's kind of like a forerunner of all the Mothman kind of incidents, really. Also, the reason why I wanted to do this one is it's the nearest one to us.
Yeah,
it's only
cool.
like 20 miles away, so we could technically drive there and have a look for the Bat Beast.
Is it in the posh bit of Kent or the bit of Kent I'm from?
Reasonably posh, I'd say.
That's why I haven't heard of it.
Retiree land.
For those who don't know, Kent is definitely two fractions. There's the really nice Canterbury, lovely area, lovely, well-spoken people, and then there's like a nuclear waste site.
North Kent.
Where I'm from. That's why I sound like a mix between an EastEnders character and an estuarine mole or something. I don't know.
Well, this area near Hythe in Kent is meant to be a paranormal hotspot where there's lots of kind of like UFO sighting. Well, apparently.
I definitely want to go there.
Well, the only kind of thing I think of is I've never heard of it being a paranormal hotspot. And I pay attention to these things, so that's likely to be bullshit.
But it's not that far away, though.
Yeah, that's what I thought. We can go there. I mean, I've looked it up there. On the night of November the 16th, 1963, 17-year-old John Flaxton and 18-year-old Mervyn Hutchinson.
That's quite a moniker.
It is, isn't it? Ready for 60s, yeah.
Yeah.
And two friends. Apparently, they were their girlfriends.
Apparently, they were with their girlfriends.
Yeah. So there was 4 people in all.
Oh, right, okay.
Who saw this? Yeah.
They saw the same thing.
Yeah. Well, what they said is they were going along the road that night, and this
having not taken any drugs.
No. Well, it's 1963, so
they've never said they've took drugs.
No.
Okay.
It's a bit before kind of late 60s hallucinogenic love drugs.
Okay, but they could have been trendsetters. I'm not saying that's what it is.
No, they didn't. They went off their tits.
Oh, all right, okay.
They were straight, apparently.
That's fair enough.
And what happened? They saw an oval-shaped, glowing kind of UFO descend into the field as they were walking along, right?
What, like a flying saucer? Or
No, like an egg shape, kind of oval.
They saw a giant purple flying egg and they weren't on drugs.
Yeah. And it landed in just over the hedgerow by the woods.
Oh, sounds legit.
They're walking along this place called Sandling Road in Kent. You can look it up in just outside Hythe.
Yeah.
They're walking along there. There's still a country park there, so look it up because we can go there.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Anyway, they saw this egg-shaped UFO land. They thought, and by then they were shitting themselves, thinking, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah.
So all 4 of them saw this. You know what I mean? Was one of them having a psychotic break or something? They all saw it. And they said after it landed, there was a rustle in the kind of bushes and the hedgerow, and
I'd probably think that was an animal being scared as well.
Yeah, well, we're talking major disturbance in the bushes.
Oh, right, okay.
And out popped a creature that was 5 foot tall.
Quite short then.
It's humanoid, so it had kind of 2 legs, bipedal.
But still quite small.
Yeah. Had wings on its back, like a bat.
Yeah.
But no head.
So how does it get around without a head? How does it eat? How does it...
God, I don't know, but apparently it waddled towards him.
Maybe like the egg crashed and it lost its head, and that waddling towards him was like a chicken when you cut a chicken's head off.
Well, yeah, it shambled, and of course they shit themselves then and kind of run off to the local police station.
I bet that was
yeah, I mean, can you just imagine how that went down?
Yeah, all right, love.
Yeah. We're walking along, and
I saw this giant purple egg.
just this Batman. Yeah, come down.
And then Batman come down and he lost his head.
Now, thinking about this, I thought that's exactly the sort of stuff we would have come up with when we were kids.
Yeah.
4 of us, we're bored one night. There ain't much to do. Middle of the countryside, because it is quite a rural area. This is so there's nothing going on. So, should we make up a story about a UFO and then go and run to the local police station?
I mean, I would totally have been down for that as a teenager.
Oh yeah, totally. But the trouble is,
I mean, when I was a teenager, we used to throw ourselves in people's privet hedge bushes because it flings you back out again because we were bored.
Just for something to do.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I'd been down for that.
Making up a UFO story is a one
I'm
notch above.
I'm quite surprised
really?
I didn't do that actually. I've done pretty much everything else.
Might be a whole wasting police time thing.
Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah. Well, the trouble is, a week after they saw this UFO, a local teenager, Keith Croucher, said he saw it land there as well.
Was he their friend? Was he?
Well, he's a teenager as well, so probably I would have thought.
In a small area.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows it, everyone, doesn't they?
Yeah,
So,
and they've gone, this is going really well this week, right? It's going great, but we just need a bit more evidence.
Yeah, so if you say you saw it as well.
Yeah.
But it gets even better. 2 days after Keith came forward saying he saw the UFO land, a local man, John McGoldrick, and his friend went to the landing site to check it out, right?
Yeah.
And they said they saw 3 of the bat beast footprints.
Wow.
And they measured 24 inches long by 9 inches across.
Fuck me, was it a clown beast?
I was thinking like Big Bird, like
With no head.
Yeah, but the huge claws.
Yeah.
So
another thing about that though, could the teenagers not have gone, we need some evidence here, let's just make some massive footprints?
Yeah, the size of shoeboxes for this 5-foot headless bat beast.
Yeah, I mean, I would totally do that as well.
It makes it more plausible.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, McGoldrick thought he'd drag a local reporter to the site.
Well, he probably had nothing better
to
do, let's be honest.
Cats up trees type stuff for the local press around there, I would have thought.
Nothing going online he can nick from someone else.
And the reporter said that, that all the brush around there had been flattened by something.
Kids.
Or McGoldrick trampling it down himself, I would have thought.
Well,
probably not, but it could have been.
Could be. I mean, if you're going to go to the trouble of actually going and checking it out and getting a reporter down, you've kind of got to have something to show for it.
Well, apparently this reporter said that the area where the UFO landed was glowing.
Oh,
come on. Glowed for a week. So I think he's in on the bullshit, really.
He's got to sell the story, hasn't he?
Yeah, and so I think this one. What do you think about this one? Then is it teenagers making up shite and people jumping on the bandwagon?
I think it's absolute fucking ball bags. No wonder I haven't heard of it.
And that brings us on to my second one, which is the Felixstowe Fire Demon.
That sounds cool as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. When I was looking these cryptids up, I thought, I want ones with cool names.
Yeah, that's a good name.
That's a cool name.
And also, it reminds me a bit of Justin Hawkins from The Darkness, because he's from around there, and he's
Lowestoft? Yeah, I think it's in Suffolk, isn't it?
It's near Felixstowe.
Same-ish area. Anyway, this happened 2 years after the bat beast sighting in Kent.
They all seem to be in the 60s. Who would have...
Well, when was this? September the 20th, 1965. So 2 years after the bat beast. I would have thought about then, really, like kind of late 50s, early 60s. We're getting to the point where UFOs are starting to come into popular culture.
Yeah.
Really, I would have thought.
Yeah, and people are doing a lot of drugs.
65? Possibly, maybe?
Yeah, I reckon the whole 60s was just a massive drug fest.
Okay.
I don't know, of course, because I was born in 78, but...
Yeah. Well,
guessing.
This is what happened in Felixstowe. 25-year-old Jeffrey Maskey was driving along Walton Avenue with his 2 passengers, Mavis Fordyce and Michael Johnson.
Not the basketball player?
No, not in 1965.
Oh, no, that's Michael Jordan.
Yeah, not in 1965 in Kent.
Yeah, that would have been odd. He's like a vampire.
Anyway, for no apparent reason, he pulled over on what was then a tree-lined kind of road, but it's now just an industrial estate. So I did do my research on this episode.
I haven't been able to pick anything yet.
No?
That you've done wrong. I'm waiting.
You're waiting to pounce.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Well, anyway, people have speculated why Maskey pulled his car over on this road back on that evening, but...
Do a bit of drugs?
Well, I was thinking that, or, threesome, or something like that. Or,
was the 60s.
Yeah, or just simply he wanted a piss.
Yeah, it could have been that, couldn't it?
Kind of, it's a wooded kind of road it was back then, so I thought, well, I'll just pull the old car over and
get the old boy
have a quick
out
Jimmy Riddle. Yeah, off we go.
Got more than he expected, I'm guessing.
Anyway, the 3 were gassing away in the car, apparently, when Johnson, one of the passengers, abruptly got out of the car and ran into the kind of the bushes and the woods.
Why?
I don't know.
Which one?
He was the passenger, Michael Johnson.
He ran off?
Yeah, he got out of the car, just suddenly got out of the car and went into the kind of bushes and into the woods at the side of the road.
Sounds like the kind of thing people do when they're on drugs.
Or just desperate for a piss, I don't know.
But wouldn't you have said, I really need a wee, I'll be back to the threesome in a minute.
Well, yeah. Well, the 2 in the car kind of, thought, well, that was a bit weird. He just fucked off, you know what I mean? I don't know. What's going on there? But
he doesn't turn up dead, does he?
Kinda, but not. No, he doesn't turn up dead, but I'll get to that.
Okay.
Anyway, those 2 are sitting in the car, Maskey the driver and Fordyce the female passenger.
And they may or may not have been doing many things in the car.
No, they were just chatting. That's what they were doing. Just chatting. Anyway, while they were chatting, right?
Chatting.
They heard this buzzing sound above the car.
So hang on, their mate runs off and they don't even think, we better go and see if he's all right.
No.
They were definitely shagging.
Yes.
That's the only reason you wouldn't go running after your mate that's run off into the bloody woods.
No, they were just chatting, apparently. Probably having a nice cup of tea or something, from a thermos.
Fucking hand shandy is what they were.
Anyway, I heard this humming above the car. And this humming eventually enveloped the car to the point where going, this is disturbing, this sound.
So something made him get out of the car then, I'm guessing.
Well, no, because they're going, what the fucking hell is this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Maskey the driver stuck his head out the car window, and 90 foot above the car was another orb, kind of oval-shaped glowing UFO.
It weren't the Batman again, was it?
Well, perhaps he turned up again, thought we'd have a little go.
Yeah. Well, it was recently, like a few years later.
Anyway, they were sitting in the car and shitting themselves, you know what I mean? I was going, bloody hell, there's a UFO there. And apparently it was glowing so brightly it was lighting up all the countryside.
Right.
So they just sat there for like 30 seconds shitting themselves until this UFO shot off into the night sky.
Right. So where's the fire demon?
He's coming.
Oh, right. Okay.
He's coming. Give it a chance.
I'm so impatient.
I know. Anyway, I think, oh shit, Michael's still out in the woods taking a slash or whatever he's doing, you know what I mean? Kind of.
Yeah.
And I think I showed you, I did show you Fire in the Sky the other day, the Travis Walton.
Yeah, I heard good things about it, but I have to say...
It's a bit made for TV, isn't it?
Never going to get that time back again.
Well, if you've seen that film, you know...
I blame you for that.
You know when Travis gets out and they're going, Travis, come back in the car.
Yeah, and you're
Travis,
going, just get in the car, you dickhead.
Yeah. That bit, yeah. Well, they've shat themselves after seeing this UFO and they don't want to get out of the car, so they're calling for Michael, going, Mike, come back, Mike, where are you? We're not getting out,
That's cold. I'd get out and look for my friend.
Yeah, you got to remember they're paralysed with fear after seeing this bloody great UFO.
Well, all right.
Yeah, so they're staying in the car. They're not getting out. So they're calling his name, and eventually he comes out of the brushes in the woodland and collapses in front of the car.
Right.
So something's happened to him, hasn't it? Something bad.
Well, I would say he had a bad effect of the drugs.
Oh well. Anyway, they scraped him off the ground, chucked him in the car,
yeah,
and they took him to Felixstowe Hospital.
Well, I bet they were well equipped to deal with him in the 60s.
Yeah, turns out they weren't. No, they transferred him to Ipswich Hospital.
Fuck, must have been serious. Ipswich.
I'll say that again. Ipswich Hospital.
Must have been serious.
Yeah. They said he was suffering from amnesia because of severe shock. But he also had some weird injuries. He had some burns on the back of his neck and an injury to just above his ear.
Right.
So he had some, really odd physical injuries.
But how do we know that... I mean, we're just basing the injuries on the assumption that they're telling the truth. It could have been... What's his name? Maskey and Mavis could have done that to him. And he doesn't remember because he was so traumatised or
off his tits
on drugs. I would say that's more likely. Like they would torture him as part of their...
Well, let's suspend belief of all sadomasochistic torture for a minute.
Oh, okay.
And just think, he's got physical injuries. He's got burn marks on the back of his neck. Weird burn marks they've never seen before in the hospital in Felixstowe.
Right, I mean...
Odd stuff. So I think we'll transfer him to Ipswich. And he can't remember a thing, so I think he's got amnesia as well. So the next day, Maskey and Fordyce go and visit him in Ipswich Hospital. Yeah. And this is what he said happened to him.
Okay.
While he was taking a sash in the woods, kind of got out of the car, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he said an unknown force compelled him to get out of the car and to go into the woods. Almost like he's under mind control.
Right.
So that's why he abruptly stopped talking and went, and got out of the car.
Ran off.
And went into the woods, yeah. An unknown force compelled him to get out.
Okay.
Now, this is a big thing in kind of contactee, abductee, UFO kind of stories of people, where they often say, like the aliens could talk to them telepathically.
Yeah, I mean, that to me would say perhaps it's in your mind.
Perhaps it's the drugs.
Perhaps it's the drugs in your mind, your own mind. That's why they can telepathically talk to you, because it is in your mind.
Yeah.
Not saying it's that, but...
Yeah, so while he definitely wasn't having a trip and seeing this alien, this is how he described what he saw. He said he saw a figure with sloping eyes, kind of... And when I hear sloping eyes, I think... It's a grey.
Yeah.
So the classic grey Whitley Strieber book cover grey alien.
Yeah.
But he wasn't grey. He was orange, and he's also completely engulfed in flames.
So when you said he was orange, my first thought was the Tango Man.
Well, a bit like that. Imagine a tangoed grey.
Yeah.
So that's what you saw.
But with flames.
But with flames all around him. What's that one in X-Men? He does all the... Was it X-Men? I can't remember.
Oh, I don't know. We're too old to know what that
One of those Marvel, kind of films.
Yeah.
Like that, kind of, engulfed in flame, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, I know I keep saying it, but it sounds very druggy to me.
Well,
like a trip.
He said after he saw the fire-engulfed tangoed alien, he can't remember anything else and blacked out. And all he can remember was waking up in the hospital.
Do you think maybe he doesn't remember anything and the other two just went, look, this is what happened to you. Definitely wasn't us torturing you in some sick sex game.
It definitely wasn't. We're talking of weird and odd stuff. The next one I've picked is the Ratman of Southend.
That sounds amazing.
Well, it's a good example of the kind of the tales of cryptids, which are basically kind of old wives' tales or kind of, urban legends.
Yeah.
Type thing. And this one,
I mean, it just seems so fitting that if anywhere's going to have a Ratman, it would be Southend.
Southend on Sea. If you've seen the BBC comedy programme This Country, if when they describe the fox twins in the woods, it's a bit like that. It doesn't exist and people have just made it up really as a tall tale.
It's kind of like a local urban legend.
Yeah. Well, this one's got two kind of distinct variations that people tell of this tale. And the first one is that in this kind of underpass in Southend, there was a homeless guy who was living in there.
Grim.
Yeah. I mean, if Southend couldn't get any grimmer, some homeless guy was living in an underpass, and all he had to keep him warm was this blanket, right?
Yeah.
And this horrible group of chavvy teenagers came on.
In Southend?
Who would have ever thought it? Yeah. They come along, beat the shit out of him.
Oh.
and stole his blanket. Right.
Right.
So he died of hypothermia in the underpass.
Well, how did he become a rat man?
Well, his stiff body was nibbled on by all the rats that live in the underpass.
Right.
And people say that after that, they hear like kind of squealing rat noises down in the underpass.
Think it could just be rats?
No, like proper, like kind of loud. And they could also hear fingernails being scraped along the side of the walls.
Could just be rats on the other side of the wall.
Yeah, so that's one of them. The tale of the.
That's
the
just
rat
like
man.
that's just like a ghost story that you tell children. That's fucking stupid.
That's what I mean.
That's not a cryptid, is it?
Well,
I suppose technically, yeah.
Technically, it's a rat man that lives down there, and
Yeah.
people say they've seen this ghost.
Does he look like a rat or a human?
He's kind of a bit ratty, yeah.
So not only was he nibbled on by rats, he's now taken on their persona.
Basically, yeah.
You know what he'll hear next? He'll be able to control the rats like an X-Man, like Ant-Man.
Well, the other kind of variation of this story is my favourite, and this is pretty grim. If that were beating up a homeless guy to death, it wasn't grim enough. This is weird.
Strap yourself in.
Yeah. The story goes that the mayor of Southend was a serial adulterer, right? So
I can believe that.
He's off shagging everywhere, yeah. And he was cursed for his infidelity in the form of a rat-like child.
Okay, sorry, that just...
Yeah. So yeah, because of all his infidelity, he had this rat kid. Right.
He gave birth to a rat kid.
Well, one of his mistresses or his wife, I'm not sure.
Okay.
So this
what
kid,
percentage rat?
well, I don't know, but apparently the kid had a long snout and a worm-like rat tail. Right. So it's sounding like a schoolyard bullshit story, isn't it? Really.
It's making me think, for some reason, it's making me think of that programme with, I can't remember what it's called, but it had Charles Dance in it in the 80s, and he had a gorilla child.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what it was
What was
called.
that called? If you know,
Let us know.
Let us know, because I vaguely remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a sort of monkey child.
Monkey kid.
He'd put his stuff in some monkey and it had given birth to a...
Oh.
And he thought he'd discovered the...
We've got to find out what that is.
Missing
now.
link or something, wasn't
After
it?
we record this, we're going to find out what the hell that is.
Yeah. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, the mayor's rat kid, right, developed a taste for flesh.
As they do.
Human flesh. Oh, yeah.
As a rat kid would do.
So, rather than kind of going, perhaps you shouldn't eat people, rat baby, what the mayor did was construct this underpass, right, as a layer.
A layer.
A layer for his rat baby. And what he did is he built...
Sorry.
In the middle of this underpass, he made a little trapdoor type thing, so, and a little house for the rat baby.
And a house.
Yeah, like behind this little trapdoor. That's
fucking
where
lucky rat baby.
That's where the rat baby lived, right? So when someone
was it like a rat toddler by that time?
I don't know. I think he'd grown up by then. By the time he developed his taste for flesh.
Rat adult.
Yeah.
Rat adolescent.
Yeah, rat
probably,
cannibal.
Probably came in when his balls dropped.
So this underpass has got this hidden doorway in it, right?
That no one can see.
No one can see. So when someone strolls through there, to kind of get the other end of town, the rat boy comes out, knacks them and eats them.
So, but they can't find the door to it. And do they have any actual proof of anyone who's gone missing while walking through the underpass? Would be my second question. Are there any cases of someone who was last seen
gone missing,
not
in the
exiting, and what does he do with all the bones?
Well, we know what we have here, don't we?
A bullshit alarm?
A research fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, I want to know what happens with the bones. I want to know who's
gone missing.
Who's gone missing? Because I'd imagine if he's been under there since, when was this?
I don't know actually.
Oh my god, another fail!
God, damn it.
Fucking hell.
Well, you could apply Occam's razor to this, where it's just bullshit.
Oh, of course it's bullshit. Yeah. I'm just trying to suspend my disbelief to work out the level of bullshit we're dealing with. Has he had any children himself? The rat. Has the rat baby gone on to have a rat family? Because, I mean, I imagine a lot of people go missing if he's got a family of rat babies.
He's got to find another half man, half rat person to breed with, isn't he? Or I suppose he could breed with another human.
What if he found a human and, like, 50% of the children were rat babies and the other 50% were normal babies? So they went up into the world to collect the victims for the...
They're just blending in Southend.
No, the normal ones, they eat them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, kind of. Oh. That's got even darker. I thought this tale wasn't dark enough.
I know. That's where my brain goes, though. Rat babies eating their siblings. Actually, rats do eat each other if they're locked in.
Oh, yeah, they do, don't they? Yeah.
I think they would.
Well, we're going to have a quick break before we come back with the last cryptid and my favourite.
Yeah, that's quite a cool name.
Oh, yeah. And we're back.
Welcome back.
Well, the last cryptid I want to do is my favourite, and I love it most of all because of the name.
That is a cool name. I've seen the name.
It's the Shug Monkey.
The Shug.
Shug Monkey.
Little Shuggy Monkey.
This cryptid was originally part of Cambridgeshire folklore, but he upped sticks from there and he moved to Suffolk.
Oh, he moved?
Yeah, he thought we've had enough of this.
I suppose cryptids have to move just as much as we do.
I mean, it's not too far away. He thought you'd have a little jolly on the Suffolk coast.
Yeah.
Which is in the east of England. There's a bit on the coast there known as the Sandlings.
That's a cute little name.
Yeah, it's very kind of rural British sounding name.
Yeah.
This stretch of coastland consists of 1,500 hectares of coniferous woodland, which is better known as Rendlesham Forest.
Which I've never heard of.
You've never heard of Rendlesham Forest?
No.
Literally not?
No. Is that... I'm not good at geography.
No. It's nothing to do with geography, really. It's home of the British Roswell.
I didn't even know there was a British Roswell.
Well, I think we're coming up to our next podcast subject.
Yeah.
Well, in this...
I mean, if I don't know about that, there's going to be a lot of people listening who don't know about that.
Yeah, well, basically, it's huge forest there, right? Kind of pine trees, basically.
Not great for landing UFOs, I would have.
But there's two RAF bases there, right? Called Bentwaters and Woodridge. And they had part of America's nuclear arsenal there.
Why?
Well, this is back in like the 80s, you know what I mean? Kind of like,
why would we have that?
Well, we did. We housed all their shite, you know what I mean? So,
we're like their shed.
Yeah, basically. Well, these two RAF bases had these American missiles there. And a UFO turned up one day.
Just
hovered outside, landed. A few of the RAF and US Air Force personnel saw it, and a couple of them touched it.
They touched the alien craft?
The UFO, yeah.
Right.
This is a subject for another podcast.
It is. It sounds mad.
So, yeah, well, we have to do one. That's going to be next week's subject, I think.
Okay.
Rendlesham Forest.
Possibly.
Because there's a lot there I'd like to explore. Like, kind of, people say they were there and touched it when they possibly didn't, and stuff like that. It's a lot there to explore.
Yeah.
But anyway, this forest, right? So this is where the Shug Monkey lives.
Such a cute name.
Yeah, it's good.
Is he a cute cryptid? Like, does he like leave little treats for people, or is he a bit of a bastard?
He's a bit of a ferocious little shit, actually.
Oh. Should have called him the shit monkey.
Well, I mean, the Rendlesham Forest incident happened in December 1980, but 25 years before that was the first sighting of the Shug Monkey.
So again, 60s.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
See what I'm saying here?
See where we're going with this?
Well, listen to this. The first sighting of the Shug Monkey, he was described as a combination of a dog, a bear and a large ape.
That is
That's quite specialist, isn't it?
That is pretty. Like, what part was ape? What part was bear? What part was dog? I bet you don't. You can't tell me, can you?
I'm coming on to that.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
I stand corrected.
Well, I did a bit of research this week, and
A small bit.
a small bit, yeah. And the name itself is a combination of the Old English term "skucker," that means demon, apparently.
That's pretty cool. I'm gonna start calling our dog that.
Skucker, yeah. And a local Suffolk coast term called shucky, which means hairy or shaggy.
I'm going to call you that.
So Shaggy Demon is what he really is, the Shug Monkey.
Can I call you my Shug Monkey?
You can if you want. Well, the first person to see the Shug Monkey himself was a local called Sam Holland, who was walking his dog in the forest and saw the creature emerge from the tree line about 40 feet in front of him. Well, he said it walked on 4 large muscular legs like a lion's and had a thick black glossy coat.
Could have just been a big dog, though.
Yeah, well, he first thought it was an anomalous big cat.
An ABC.
Like, yeah, that's
ABC.
Yeah, so you're getting there. And that was until he looked it in the eye.
From 40 feet?
Yeah, because it was a big bugger, you know what I mean? Kind of like,
But, I mean, his eyes would have to be massive to look in the eyes from 40 feet.
Well, they lock gazes, each other.
Yeah.
Kind of like, yeah. He said it had a face like a silverback gorilla, a thick neck, intelligent-looking eyes, wide nostrils, and a huge jaw. From 40 feet away.
I'm still thinking it might be just like a misshapen dog.
Yeah?
Like with a birth defect. You've seen lots of strange-looking animals with birth defects.
Yeah. Well, it scared the shit out of him. He said, he'd never seen it like it. It definitely wasn't a big cat.
Yeah.
Had a face like a gorilla.
Yeah.
But walked like a panther.
Could have been kids in a costume, bored.
Well, I think there's a kind of story about someone else said they saw a big bear or a grizzly bear in Rendlesham Forest, which obviously shouldn't be there.
No, but I mean, that's plausible because someone could have just gone, I've got this fucking bear.
Yeah, but that turned out to be a theatre company with some bloke dressed as a bear. So
in the same
yeah, this
area.
was like in the 90s, you know what I
Oh.
mean? So this is way back, you know what I mean?
Well, they got the idea from somewhere. Shug Monkey.
Yeah, so even kind of he was interviewed in his 80s. This Sam Holland bloke, this is like 2012, I think he was interviewed.
Yeah.
And he said, he didn't believe it was a real physical animal. It was just some sort of paranormal thing he saw, or a ghost or something. So
Yeah, I mean, I'd be more likely if it was something.
yeah,
If he actually did see something, it's more likely something that doesn't really.
I mean,
exist.
I'm kind of more interested in things like that where, I've been in woods and for some unknown reason I've had doesn't feel right here. I think I've been watched. You know what I mean? Kind of.
That could just be animals watching you, though.
Oh, I don't know. It could be anything. It could be be infrasound through the trees or something. It could be anything. You know what I mean?
If there's like an animal watching you or someone's watching you, they say you can feel the eyes on you, whether you know or not.
I don't know. It could even be like some sort of magnetic disturbance in the ground. Say it's like a metal ore in the ground that causes the magnetic field. And you think, oh, that's just creepy. You know what I mean?
Or it could be a Shug Monkey.
Yeah, gazing upon me with his big flared nostrils and jaw. Yeah. Well, the second sighting was 7 years later in 1963. So this one was, back in the 50s.
Oh, an early one then.
Yeah. But it's kind of where it gets a bit mad.
This is where it gets mad.
Yeah, I mean, this was at roughly the same time as the Bat Beast sighting. Peggy Cushing saw what seemed to be a creature with a striking resemblance to what Sam Holland saw.
In the same place?
Yeah, exactly the same place in the forest. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. But she said, and this is where it's got a connection to the Bat Beast of Kent, right? Because she said it shape-shifted in front of her into a winged gargoyle and flew off.
But did it have a head?
I don't know. I presume so.
Well, that's another fail for you there, really.
Yeah. So she saw the Shug Monkey, but it shape-shifted.
Maybe in like 63, 64, 65, the government was shoving something in the water and everyone just started seeing mad shit. Not saying that happened, but it's possible, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, there was I wouldn't say sighting, but kind of last kind of mention of the Shug Monkey really was in '96, and this one you got to take with a large pinch of salt, really.
I have been really for all of them,
for all of them.
to be honest.
Yeah. A paranormal investigator went out into the exact area where Peggy and Sam saw the Shug Monkey.
They've got no vested interest at all.
Not at all. And she said she saw big, huge paw prints, like a big cat one, but had like flattened claws. So it probably wasn't, like a panther or anything like that.
Definitely wasn't her making them herself.
Making up the Shug Monkey.
No,
it wasn't that. So in Rendlesham Forest, the location of the British Roswell. There's a part dog, bear, and ape thing roaming around.
You know what we haven't mentioned that it could be?
What's that?
Maybe the military base are making some kind of weird creation and unleash it, and it got out.
Yeah, so I think they're decommissioned these places now, but back then they were still going strong.
Yeah, they've made a weird bear, ape, dog.
It escaped. That's it. That's one we can punt around.
Yeah, that's our one.
It escaped from RAF Bentwaters. Yeah, the ape, dog, monkey man.
Yeah, the Shug Monkey.
The Shug Monkey. Well, it wouldn't be an episode without and finally.
That's true. I found this one. I'm particularly proud.
This is a great one because...
Let me read the...
Because with all the coronavirus stuff going around, we need a bit of light relief, really.
We do.
So, yeah,
let me read the title for you.
Go on.
Pablo Escobar's cocaine hippos may be restoring Colombia's ecosystem. Yeah, this is basically... obviously, most people have heard of Pablo Escobar.
Oh, yeah.
Don't need to explain who he is. Google's your friend if you don't know. I'm not a teacher.
Yeah.
He left a big legacy of crime and violence, really. But one unexpected thing from his reign of, some people say terror, some people whatever, was they said he had 4 hippos. I don't know why he had hippos, but he had 4 of them.
I take it one of these guys, like, bit of a Tony Montana.
Yeah, get me a hippo.
I want a rhinoceros and a tiger in my back garden type thing.
So anyway, he had 4 hippos, and when he was arrested, when he was busted in '93, was it? They found he had these 4 hippos, and they didn't quite know what to do with them, so they just set them loose in the wild.
Right.
And at first they were sort of accused of wreaking havoc on the local ecosystem because they weren't meant to be there. And they've bred there's about 80 hippos now from those 4 that are surviving.
From just those 4?
Yeah, there's like 80 of them.
Holy shit.
But apparently what they're saying now is that it isn't as bad as they thought, because it's actually restoring ecological functions that have been lost for thousands of years due to human-driven extinctions. So... in other words, they're restoring the eco-balance.
Oh, right. So kind of animals that used to be there that got hunted into extinction by humans. Yeah, like... the hippos have kind of replaced.
Yeah, I think one of them was giant llamas. They was comparing it to. Maybe a mammoth may have been mentioned in it.
Wow.
But, I mean, when I first read cocaine hippos, I thought they were hippos that were like mad for cocaine, so I was a bit disappointed, but it's a nice little story.
I think that's a great story. It kind of tops off a kind of what's been a kind of horrible time with all this corona business, with a bit of an uplifting story, and that's what we want. We hope that you've enjoyed this podcast. It's been difficult, everyone's in isolation, so hopefully this will give you something to stop you rocking in the corner for an hour. If you like our show, please give us a review on the Apple Podcasts app. It makes all the difference to us. It does. If you don't, we're just basically pissing in the wind here. We're never going to get any listeners. So please leave us a little review. You can also join us on our Facebook page, where we post more of the weird shit we find, and all the links that tickle our fancy and hopefully yours. And you can also post on their stories to us that we may find interesting if you want to get them featured, or a local story is always quite cool. Yeah, I mean, super local. We like ones that we wouldn't necessarily have the access to. So anything like that you find, shove it our way, and we'll give you a mention when we read it out.
if you want us to.
If you have any suggestions for a show topic, visit our website, edgeofbelief.com, and click on the contact link, or just message us through our Facebook page.
Yeah.
You and me are always on there, so we'll get in touch.
And again, the website is edgeofbelief.com.
And I think that's it. So cue Charlie.
Absolutely no ET craft, ET technology, anything like that at Area 51. This is why S4 was made.
People can see it's happening. I mean, the police state, the Orwellian state, is moving in so fast.
I can lead you into that level above human. That can't happen unless you leave the human world that you're in and come and follow me.
You've got it stuck in your brain that I murdered somebody. What do you want to call me a murderer for? I've never killed anyone. I don't need to kill anyone. I think it.